If you want to know what's going on in Rockingham County government, check out Rockingham County 411. If you're interested in county governmental programs, projects, and services, don't miss Rockingham County 411. Public Information Officer Mabel Scott will share important, crucial news you can use with Rockingham County 411.
Rockingham County 411. You're in a good place. This is Mabel Scott, your County Public Information Officer, and today we have some exciting news that you've been waiting to hear about. Good news happening on the campus of Rockingham Community College. We have Dr. Mark Kinlaw and his team of experts who will be sharing and giving an update on the quarter-cent sales tax. Dr. Kinlaw.
Thank you, Mabel. Let me introduce the staff that are with us today. Just immediately to my right, Ms. Sheila Regan, who is our Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Tony Gunn, who is our Associate Vice President for Facilities and External Affairs, and then Mr. Chris Brooks, who is our Dean for Workforce Development, are all with us here today to share some thoughts on our quarter-cent sales tax and how that's helped our college.
Well, President Kinlaw, give us an overview of what you're going to talk about today.
Well, let me first start by saying that the quarter-cent sales tax, as the public knows, was approved back in May of 2018. And I'm very appreciative, the college is very appreciative of the quarter-cent sales tax vote by the public, and they're trusting us to use those funds to expand what we can do for the county. And the commissioners for their willingness to put it on the ballot with all of the funds coming to our college. And we've been averaging about $160,000 a month coming to our college, and we started drawing those funds in the very early part of 2019. When it was approved in May of 18, it went into effect in October of 18, but we did not start drawing funds until the early part of 2019. So the primary investment for the quarter-cent sales tax will be a new Center for Workforce Development that we're going to discuss today. And we're very excited about what it's going to be able to do for our county. You know, we've had some exciting announcement this year coming out of our Economic Development Office of new industry that's really in different parts of our county. We've had some in Eden, some in the western part, and also some in Reedsville as well. So we're real excited about what this building will be able to do to support those kinds of efforts in the future. And we're going to talk more specifically about that building. It's going to be a 42,000 square foot facility, and the rest of the staff will share what's going to be housed in that facility and what it's going to be able to do. But it's going to be on par with what our simulated hospital can now do, which we opened in 2016, and many of our citizens have been in that facility and are familiar with that. But this is going to be on par, but it's a different set of programs that will serve big industry. And then we've been doing a lot of other things while we're working on the new facility, and we're going to talk about why it takes a long time to build the facility. But in the meantime, we've been working on other things that the staff will share as well. So the quarter-cent sales tax is allowing us to catch up and to become more state-of-the-art. And then over a long period of time, it's going to allow us to stay state-of-the-art so that we can train students at a much higher level. I think anyone that is familiar with our simulated hospital knows that we can now train at a higher level in the health sciences. Well, we need to do that throughout the whole college. We're doing a good job, but we can be much better, and the quarter-cent sales tax is going to help us do that and really promote workforce development in our county. So with that, that's a general overview, and I think we'll get more specific with the other comments from the other staff.
And how have the Connect NC bond funds helped Rockingham Community College? What has been accomplished with these funds? So broad.
Well, we have received $6.8 million as a result of that bond referendum back in 2015, and so we have been using those funds to update and upgrade several facilities on campus, and we're in the middle of that. We have been able to update our advanced technology building, which houses a lot of our business programs, information technology. We've also updated our library, upgraded it. We've also done some things on the first floor of our humanities building, and we're getting ready to do the second floor this coming year, so that building will be completed. We've also done some things. We've of course renovated our student center, and that was a project that also utilized some foundation funds. So we've been able to do some of those types of things, and we're going to continue to use those funds over the next 2 to 3 years, 4 years probably, to finish out and spending those to upgrade our facilities. And that has been, that's helping us to become more state of the art and actually to look more collegiate when it comes down to it.
Great. Okay, let's move to Sheila Regan, who is the Vice President for Academic Affairs at Rockingham Community College. You're going to be talking about technology, cybersecurity, agribusiness. What have you done with the quarter-cent sales tax revenue to date to improve instruction for students?
Hi, thank you. First of all, I too want to thank the citizens of Rockingham County for having the confidence in the college to invest their investment in a way that we can improve the community and the education and services we provide. The quarter-cent sales tax has allowed us to upgrade several programs and start new programs. In our information technology area, we completely replaced equipment, computers and workstations for students in that program. The computers required for information technology require higher processing power than the computer we may have at home or in our office. They have the speed, memory, and storage capacity for students to learn the different concepts for employment in information technology. Prior to the quarter-cent sales tax, we didn't have a workspace or workstations for students to take the computer apart and put it back together. So that lab has been completely transformed, and I think the education and the hands-on training that students receive now 10 times better, and they are going to be prepared for employment in that IT sector. The Program Advisory Committee for Information Technology asked the college to develop a cybersecurity credential program. So we took another space, renovated it, and purchased cybersecurity modules in order to offer this new program. If we didn't have the quarter-cent sales tax, we could not respond to advisory committees that employers make up that committee. We could not respond to the needs in our service area. So in terms of information technology, that program and that education and training has been completely transformed with this quarter-cent sales tax. A new program that we offered or implemented in fall 2020 was Agribusiness Technology. In the back of our campus, we have Rockingham County Farm Bureau Horticulture Building. We upfitted that building. It was a horticulture space. We upfitted that to run an agribusiness technology program. And extending off that building, we were able to add a state-of-the-art greenhouse on a concrete pad, not a dirt pad, a concrete pad. It's just over 2,000 square feet, 8-foot polycarbonate walls. Last year we had a snowstorm that completely demolished, or 2 years ago, had a snowstorm that completely demolished our greenhouse. But this greenhouse is computerized with environmental controls, a computerized water system, and quarter-cent sales tax helped purchase that. The other thing the funds have done is that area is about 2 acres. We've graded, cleaned up, poured concrete, going to build a storage building. But when students pursue that program, they're going to be able to train in a production environment, in an environment that they're going to see when they go to work in an agribusiness field. So the quarter-cent sales tax has just completely transformed some of the new things that we can do with new programs and enhance our current programs. Technology in just about every classroom has been updated. We had computers in computer labs that were 8 years old, and we don't want to put old technology in front of our students. In 15 to 20 classrooms, we have installed short throw projectors, wireless projectors, smart boards. So now when the faculty member is teaching, they don't have to stand at the board. They can move around the room. They can touch the board and really annotate to improve the student's learning experience. Students have more access to updated computers to facilitate their learning. We have plans to touch every building and every classroom. Without the continued revenue from the quarter-cent sales tax, we're not going to be able to give students that state-of-the-art learning experience.
Okay. Dr. Tony Gunn, the Associate Vice President for Facilities and External Affairs at Rockingham Community College, is going to be talking about campus signage, parking lot improvements, mass notification, Center for Workforce Development. First, Dr. Gunn, what have you done with the quarter-cent sales tax to improve your facilities?
Thank you, Mabel. The quarter-cent sales tax has really enabled us to transform the looks of our campus. And I want to highlight a couple of things there. One of the most visible looks on our campus has been improvements in our campus signage. We had campus signage that was old, outdated, probably going back 30 years or more. And so we've replaced that with much larger signage. It has our name on each sign, letters are larger, and that's so important to people who come on our campus, students who are new to our campus, visitors. They need some clear direction about where to go, where our buildings are, and even for first responders who are coming to the campus in an emergency. We don't have many of those. When they do, they need to be able to find buildings quickly. And so that's campus signage has just done a tremendous job in making our campus look so much better. And then the other thing I'd like to highlight is some improvements that we've done to our parking lots. Several years ago, we made a commitment to improve our parking lots, our sidewalks, and our driveways. And the quarter-cent sales tax has helped us do that. We regraded some handicap spaces to bring them in compliance with the American with Disabilities Act. We seal-coated all of our parking lots and restriped them. And so our parking lots just look fantastic right now. And you know, when people come on campus, first thing they see are the buildings, the grounds. That helps create the first impression. And that's important for, prospective students. It's also important to partners in business and industry, people we want to bring to the county. And so the quarter-cent sales tax has really helped us make a difference.
What have you done with the quarter-cent sales tax to make the campus safer?
Safety and security, as you can imagine, are high priorities with us. And the quarter-cent sales tax has helped us in that area. One of the major things we've done is replaced our mass notification system. For many years we had a system that it worked by pushing a button and some horns went off. And if you were familiar with how that, what that sounded like, you knew what to do. But if you didn't, you didn't know. And so last year we were able to replace that system with a new alert system, and it gives instructions about what to do. We train on that regularly, and it's important for people to, and when there are emergencies, to know what to do. And that replacement of that mass notification system has really helped. And it augments some things that we already have in place. We can notify people quickly by email, by text, by computer desktop alerts. And now with this mass notification system, it just helps makes mass notification much more redundant. And so our philosophy is we want people to not only to be safe and secure, we want them to feel safe and secure. And so that's what we've been able to do.
What is the process you have to follow to build the Center for Workforce Development?
It's sometimes a very long and complicated process. Sometimes we'd like to be able to just go out and hire an architect, hire a general contractor and say, let's break ground and put up a building. And because we're a state institution, the building that we're looking at is going to cost more than $500,000. It's going to fall under the auspices of the state construction office. Mm-hmm. And what that means is, we have to advertise for an architect, and then the state construction office will negotiate their fee, and then we begin the design process. And that's a long process. It's actually a 3-stage process. The state construction office looks at those plans at each of those stages, and once they approve that, the final stage, we can then go out for bids. And then we've got to get a contractor on board, sign contracts, and only then can we break ground. And so for us, it takes longer, but on the other hand, during each stage of that process, you have some professional eyes looking over your plans. And what that means is, for us, it means a much better building, a building that will last for many years. And that's exactly what we want. So in the Center for Workforce Development, we had an idea of what we wanted, and we also had a site in mind, but one of our trustees suggested, we ought to take a look, make sure that's exactly where we want that building. And we did that. And we ended up choosing what I think is a much better site. And that delayed the process a little bit, but in the long run, it's going to be a much better facility. And so right now, we're in the last stage of design. We are looking to go out for bids next fall, break ground about a year from now, and actually be in the building in the spring of 2023. And that is not really that far off. So we are very pleased with how this building is going and what the building's going to do for us and for the citizens of Rockingham County.
Thanks. Okay, let's go to Chris Brooks, the Dean of Workforce Development and Assistant Professor, Computer Integrated Machining at Rockingham Community College. Tell us about the Center for Workforce Development, the program's instructions, and start off, other than the additional space, how will this new building benefit students?
Well, one of the great benefits of starting fresh is it's not just a matter of square footage increase for the areas. A lot of our program areas over the years have been adapted to the building that we had that was built originally in '66 and then a second building later. And we're offering classes that may not be exactly the way you would see it in industry due to space constraints. So when we move to this new facility, the intentional design will allow us to increase more than the square footage actually shows. We do away with our inefficiencies from working with an older building, and this allows greater growth than just simply saying we're increasing this area by 10%. So that's one thing that will happen. Going to this new facility will also allow us to group things where it is more in line with how students would see it in industry. So the teaching and learning process will become more efficient. These are things that we've heard from our advisory committees over the years that they would like to see us change. It will help us with our delivery of information. It will provide more hands-on opportunities for students. And this is not just for curriculum programs. The 3 programs that are listed as far as main program areas are electrical systems technologies, industrial systems technologies, and computer integrated machining. But on the short-term training side, the continuing education, the customized training, which will also be housed in this building, it will allow us to offer classes in those areas that we haven't been able to because of our restraints with the way our labs have been split up in the past. So by having this intentional design of things laid out to mimic industry and to allow us to offer these different classes, we'll be able to offer things at different times during the day that maybe we couldn't have before. A lot of times in programs like this, a project will take more than one class period, so that equipment is tied up until that group of students returns to finish the project, so you can't schedule anything in between. So we have made great effort to design this where it will allow multiple groups to use the areas. And again, that is more of a benefit for being able to have more students in the space than just square footage alone shows.
That's good. What programs and what types of training will take place in the building? And you've already kind of hit on a lot of that.
So within the programs, industrial systems is what a lot of people see as industrial maintenance. It covers everything from basic electrical training, basic hydraulics, which is fluid power, pneumatics, which is air powered motion, basic mechanics, and troubleshooting. And all of these are things that our industries are looking for. They're looking for a well-rounded maintenance troubleshooting type person. The electrical systems program has some of the things in there as well, because an electrician a lot of times needs to know if the problem is coming from something outside of the electrical system. Is it a hydraulic or mechanical issue? But it goes into more depth as far as wiring for commercial facilities, programmable logic controls, which are small computers used for automation within facilities. Not only how to install them, but how to program them and troubleshoot them. We have robotics, which again is something that's integrated into all sorts of different facilities now. So that program has those things in it. And again, we can offer customized training or continuing education classes that focus in on a small, narrow range of that if a company needs that specifically. In the computer integrated machining program, we have a manual shop, which is the older style machines, which a lot of our companies are still using in the county. And we have a computer integrated machining lab where the machines are computer controlled. So that requires knowledge on programming. It requires knowledge on machining. They pick up that machining information using the manual machines. Then they automate by going to the computer controlled machines. And that requires very sophisticated computers as well. So we have a lab for computer integrated control students and electrical and industrial students that have some pretty high-powered computers in there that the software does have to be updated very regularly to stay in line with industry's needs. But those are the main areas that we'll be focusing on.
How will the new building serve business and industry?
Well, I hope in a couple of ways. We have our curriculum program, which will be turning out students that will be job ready. Then with our customized training program, we can offer classes to companies that are in production that need specialized training for their employees. So we can bring them in, have these special classes that are usually very narrowly focused. They need this specific thing for this specific company. And then we can have continuing education or occupational extension classes that can cover a more broad range that would allow companies to send employees or an individual to come and take these programs in smaller bites. They're not interested in completing an associate's degree or a diploma. They need some specialized training in whatever. We can offer those classes as well.
Ms. Scott, I'd like to add that the new building's also going to have a conference room and a corporate meeting space for our economic development directors in the county to bring potential business and industry to our campus to meet in that space. And then they would have an opportunity to see the kind of training, technical training programs we offer. So it's going to be tremendous, I think, for economic development to come to our campus to do some of those meetings they would typically do in their respective buildings. Come to our college, learn about what the college can offer in training, and also we get to hear from that business and industry, what can we do to better serve you? If we don't have it, let us know and we can develop it.
And that's something that I kept hearing all of you all talk about, how you're listening and you're putting on those big Mickey Mouse ears. You're listening to the actual employers who will be employing these job-ready students, right, who will be getting state-of-the-art training at a higher level. And I kept hearing these great adjectives about new, up-to-date, transformational, safe, secure, adaptable, and I really liked it when you all were explaining how you're talking about buildings from 1966. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's decades ago. But now everything is going to be more well-rounded, and the intentional design, so it's real world. So when the students leave, they will be able to start day one and know what to do. So I guess you are a very happy man.
I am excited, and really for the students.
Yes.
As much as anything, because we're going to be able to create some opportunities for them that are tremendous. And we would like to be able to train at the highest level possible so that students can stay here and work in this county, and be able to be taxpayers in the county and contribute to this county, because there's some exciting things happening here on a lot of fronts. And so we're excited about what the opportunities are. And the neat thing about the quarter-cent sales tax is this is not a short-term fix of things. This is a flow of funds over a long period of time that, yes, will help us to catch up initially, but we're going to be able to be state-of-the-art and stay that way. And that's going to be critical. As I look at it this way, especially in rural areas, which is most of North Carolina when you think about it, but especially rural areas, your community college is a central focus of the county. And I'm not being biased because I've been in it for so long, but it is. And so it's a critical aspect of any rural county especially. And we've got to be very, very good at what we do. And it takes a total team effort of the whole county behind this. And I'm very appreciative of the county supporting it, the commissioner supporting it, our county manager supporting it. And it's a big task on us to use the funds appropriately. And I can assure the public that that's what we're doing. Our Board of Trustees is very involved in helping us map all this out. And so real excited about what we've been able to do so far, but we've just started, and there's so much we're going to be able to do down the road. And we've got a lot of plans and excited about it. So yes, I'm very excited about what we can do.
And I'm sure that you are excited to have heard all of the exciting plans that are on the drawing board, and you're going to see how your community college is helping to develop future leaders, future taxpayers, future citizens that will be involved in Rockingham County's community. Thank you so much, President Kinlaw and your team, for coming today and sharing what's happening with our quarter-cent sales tax. We're looking toward the future, and hopefully we can hear from you all again in the next couple of months to get another update.
Well, we'd love to come back, and thank you for having us today.
Okay. Rockingham County 411, you're in a good place.